The Vergas Show is brought to you by Spanky Stone Hearth, casual fine dining on beautiful Rose Lake. Vergas State Bank, your locally owned community full-service bank. Vergas Event Center for gatherings large or small, including weddings. Vergas Liquor Store, where all the profits profit Vergas.
Make the right call. Call Hanson's, the most trusted name in plumbing and heating.
Hi, welcome to the Vergas Show. I'm Sherri Hanson. Thanks for joining me today. You know, June is Dairy Month. We honor our farms and our farmers in the area. And I couldn't be at a more picturesque place or a better place than the Colosky farm. So Dave Colosky, Donnie Colosky, thank you for joining me today. How are you, Donnie?
Fine.
Fine.
Doing pretty good.
You're doing pretty good. Well, you just got the distinction of being a Century Farm here, your farm and your acreage and everything. I know that's through the Minnesota State Fair. And what is the stipulations? It has to be in the same family for 100 years, and you have to actively be farming yet. And so, 100 years, Donnie. Tell me a little bit about what you recall growing up a farm boy.
Well, I saw the good and the bad years.
You did see the good and bad years, didn't you?
All,
and you stuck through it.
That's the only thing that I like to do.
That's the only farming, right?
You bet.
And then, Donnie, how many years have you been farming?
Well, let's see.
Now, we were just talking about your age, so how old are you?
I'm a 1930 model.
1930 model, so.
So I've been over the road quite a while.
Yes, you have. So you've seen a lot of change, haven't you?
You bet, absolutely. Good and bad.
Okay, so tell me some of the good change.
Well, we got more modern machinery now, for one thing.
Makes it quicker, right?
Yeah.
Now, you don't go out in the field anymore, do you?
No, I gave it up about a year ago.
Just a year ago. Okay, and so, but up until then, there's stories being told that you planted corn, and it was very, very straight corn. The rows were immensely straight.
It's the best I could do.
Tell me about some of the things that weren't so fun.
Picking rock.
Oh, this area's got a lot of rock, doesn't it? Yeah.
And taking care of the hay in the hay mow is 105 degrees.
Why is it that hay always grows and has to be processed when it's 105 degrees, right? Wouldn't it be nice if that was like when it was about 50?
Right. Yeah.
So, Donnie, what's your secret? 94 years old. What's your secret to keep you going?
Keep moving.
Keep moving. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you do. I mean, even though you don't actively plant that corn anymore, I may hear that you still go out into the field.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been all around this morning already.
Well, what time of day does your day start?
Oh, about 7:30 today.
Okay.
I was late.
And then you end the evening as the sun's going down, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't go to bed very early.
No reason to, right? Yeah.
People die in bed.
Yes, they do. People die in bed. Yeah, and so you've had, I mean, growing or raising a family on a farm. You know, there's not much
That's
better.
the only place to be.
Yes,
family.
Yeah, it is, and you've got just a wonderful family. I'm going to talk to Dave for a little bit, and then we'll come back to you. He's going to give me a little history here. So, Dave, I'm going to let you go ahead and take the microphone there. The family farm here. Tell me a little history.
Well, we
just try to hold.
Back in the early 70s, we got a bunch of exchange students from different countries, and that was really fun.
Tell me a little bit more about that exchange program.
Well, it was through the FFA in school. We were real good friends with the advisor who was our neighbor up the road here, and it just sounded like a fun thing, so we tried it. And they'd come usually in the spring, and we'd house them and feed them and stuff, you know, and had a vehicle if they needed. And then they'd go back usually late fall or early winter, and it was interesting for us and them. I mean, and we've stayed in contact with a lot of them. And
that's what's fun about it, because the preface of it was that they would come here and then they would learn some of of the way that you farm.
We had one bad one.
All right, we got Donnie here saying something. What was that? You had one bad one?
We had one bad one.
Okay.
Yeah, he was ornery.
Ornery one? Well, you know, how many exchange students did you have, Donnie? Do you remember?
About 8.
You had 8 of them. So if you had one bad one in 8, that's
The
not...
best one was from Austria.
Okay, the rest of them were all pretty good. All right. So what do you remember, Donnie, about the exchange students? What did you enjoy about that program?
Just having them around.
Do you remember some of the countries they were from?
Denmark, I know.
Yeah.
I think that one was from France, wasn't
2
he?
from France.
2 from France. I'm going to ask Dave on some of this. And so the countries that they came from?
Yeah, it was Austria, Denmark,
Brazil.
Germany, Brazil, France. And yeah, there was like 2, 3 from France, so.
We'll forget about the Brazil one, right?
Yeah, but no, it was fun. I mean, I really enjoyed having them here. We did a lot of stuff together, you know, and I learned a lot from them.
Did you learn from them as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like different things here, they're used to drinking warm milk, and they just love cold milk and stuff like that, you know. But no, they were all, I liked them all, yeah, except Roger. He was a little bit on the tough side.
The Brazil guy,
He just didn't like talking in the morning.
Which one took the cold shower on?
Oh, Hans.
He go right in the, under the water.
He put a cold water hose on his head.
What,
Cold water.
what would he do with the shower?
No, right in the barn. He'd come out.
He'd go in the barn?
Yeah.
The hose on his.
In the milk house. Cold water right over the top of it.
So they had different ways of doing things, and so that's a really cool program. And so I imagine, like you say, you still keep in contact.
The one from Denmark was here. Him and his wife came for Dad and Mom's 50th back in, whatever that would have been, 10, 12 years ago. All the way from Denmark, and we had a really good time. They stayed for about a week. So
Nice.
yeah, we enjoyed it.
So the family farm.
Yep.
Tell me the history a little bit about that. Who started it? How'd that all work?
Well, Ed was my great grandpa, and then my grandpa was Max, and I grew up with Max here, so I saw him every day. You know, just like our kids did with theirs, and their kids are doing with us now. So, and then Dad sold me the farm in '99, I believe, and so we're still the current owners. And
then your children, Dave, are
Chelsea, Alyssa, Dylan, and Brianna.
right.
And Dylan likes it here too. I mean, he works at Arvig, but he does a lot of farming.
A lot of farming too, and so it's carried on from the generations. Okay,
Yep.
so the good and the bad. Your dad said that haying.
Well, and milk prices, up and down. You can
so
plan.
how long did you dairy?
Myself, about 45 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And that had to be so disappointing with the
Yeah,
milk
because like I say,
prices
you
and
couldn't plan
gotta
enough
raise it.
because it would change from month to month, and yeah. Other than that, don't have a lot to complain about. It's just because you just never knew what it was going to be. It went down way quicker than it went up.
Right.
But,
So right now, you have the dairy, and so what does your farm consist of as far as?
well, I raise a lot of hay and soybeans and corn for silage, and my biggest sales would be hay.
Okay.
And that's been doing real good.
Do you keep cattle?
I myself don't have any, but last December I started feeding cows for a guy.
Okay.
They bring them to my farm as babies, and I raise them to about 600 pounds, and they go back. It's a dairy farm by Perham.
Sure, and you've got it all set up so that you're able to do
Yeah,
that, and it's
and
kind of nice having the livestock around.
Oh, and in the winter it gives me something to do because it's pretty boring. You don't have cattle in the wintertime.
Right,
So.
and then when you're used to that.
What?
Yeah, and so.
Oh, and my son-in-law, he's got the beef cows here, and I take care of them.
Oh, sure.
I feed them and stuff, and
So as far as the farm, the whole area here, then okay. So your son-in-law's cows are here and stuff. Tell me who all lives here?
well, Chelsea and Austin live here. Dad's still in the big house, and we're in the mobile home.
Okay, so
And Dylan's still here too.
So there's 3 generations. There's still 3 generations.
Four.
Well, there's 4 generations
And the 5th
with
one's right there.
Yeah, Chelsea, why don't you come on here with the little guy? We've got actually 4 generations that we're standing on the porch here that used to be Max Colosky's home.
Yep.
And then it then became Chelsea's home. Chelsea, this is Chelsea Osnes and her little guy Bodie.
Bodie, yeah.
And so Bodie would be the 4th generation, and so we got great grandpa and we've got grandpa there, and they live right here on the farm. And what's fun about it is the house that they're in that was Grandpa Max's. became their home, and then they have a little boy by the name of Max, Lindy, Max, and Bodie. And so I think that the generation thing, it's going to keep going on, and isn't it, Donnie? Well, we're going to wrap this up for today, but we're going to come back with another segment for next week, so stay tuned and we'll be right back with you. Have a good day in Vergas.